Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Sami here. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto becomes the Three Tails Jinchuriki, part 3. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. Naruto sat at the Wei family's table eating his food. He, Yugao, and Temari had only gotten back about an hour ago, and Naruto hadn't touched anything he got because he knew if Sasuke saw it, he would bitch and moan, saying any and everything Naruto found should be his. As he is an Uchiha, completely ignoring Naruto's lecture about the fact that Naruto is more Uchiha than Sasuke would ever be. Naruto just calmly ate his food, and he planned to go through the stuff he got later, when all of Team 7 had gone to bed, because Naruto didn't trust Sai either. "Why do you even try?" spoke Inari to Zuna's grandson. "You're all just going to die anyway, no one can beat Gato," said Inari. "No one's unbeatable," said Naruto. "Gato is so strong no one can beat him, so just go home back to your happy lives in a village far away with no problems in your worlds," shouted Inari. The second those words left his mouth, the entire room's temperature dropped about 10 degrees. Naruto stood up quickly, and in such a way no one could see his eyes. "If you'll excuse me," said Naruto, as he walked out of the room, and out of the house without another word. "What's his problem?" questioned Inari snidely. You little shito, boo-hoo, you lost your father, and your village is in a small bind," boo-hoo said Temari. "You don't know what pain is," yelled Inari. "Yes, I'll admit that I don't, but you don't either." Naruto has lived 15 years of his life in a village where almost everyone would like to murder him in his sleep. He had no family and no friends for a very long time. He had to live on the street for several years, eating food out of the garbage, living in a box, and every other night he would be beaten to a bloody pulp, all for something he had no control over. "So when you say we know nothing of pain, remember there is always someone somewhere worse off than you," said Temari. "Now if you'll excuse me, I have a friend to find so he doesn't kill himself or worse," said Temari, running out of the room. "Did that boy really have a childhood like that?" questioned Tsunami to Zuna's daughter. "No, it was much worse," said Yugao. Meanwhile with Naruto stood in a clearing with his swords in his hands. Amaterasu called Naruto, as his eyes morphed into his EMS form, lighting a tree on fire. Naruto then dashed forwards. Santorio Onigiri called Naruto, as he slashed at the same tree into many pieces. Naruto willed the sand out of his gourd, directing it over to another tree. "Sand coffin," said Naruto, as the sand wrapped around the base of the tree. "Sand burial," said Naruto, as the sand crushed the tree. Naruto made a horse hand sign. "Fire style great fire annihilation," called Naruto, breathing out a stream of fire that was several meters long, and about twice as wide, burning several trees in the area. "Water style water dragon jutsu," called Naruto, as a water dragon formed out of thin air, and flew at the still burning trees. "Lava style lava globs," called Naruto, shooting several large globs of lava at the trees. "Wind style sonic boom," called Naruto, as he clapped his hands together, creating a shockwave that shot forward, slicing several trees in half. Naruto's four tenants were worried for him, but didn't know what to say to make him stop. "Naruto-kun," called the soft voice of Temari from behind him. "That'll do," I thought all four of Naruto's tenants simultaneously. "Temari-chan," said Naruto, as he turned to face her. "Naruto-kun, calm down," said Temari, dropping from the tree she was standing in. Naruto took a couple of deep breaths before smiling at Temari, who smiled back. Naruto then sat down under a nearby tree. Temari sat down next to him before leaning on his shoulder. "Remember when we first met?" said Naruto, looking up at the stars. "Yeah," said Temari. Flashback. A 5-year-old Naruto was walking into sauna with trying to hide behind the Hokage's legs. As he walked, Naruto and Hiruzen were flanked by a few Jonin ninja. They all walked past Tsuna's gates to see a man with auburn hair and black eyes. He wore a simple black jacket and pants with mesh armor underneath. Naruto looked at the three children next to the man. One, the girl among the trio, had sunny blonde hair tied into two pigtails. She had blue eyes and wore a lilac-colored shirt and white pants. The second child was a boy. He wore a suit that made him greatly resemble a cat. He had black eyes, but Naruto couldn't see the boy's hair. The last boy had red hair, cyan eyes, and black rings around his eyes. He wore black pants and a light green coat. Naruto retreated further behind the Hokage, as the man in front of them looked at him. "Hokage Dono, who's this?" asked the man in a genuinely curious tone of voice. "I apologize for not notifying you, Kazukichi Dono. This is Naruto Uzumaki," said Hiruzen, pointing to the child. The four people in front of them looked at Naruto with a studying gaze, while Naruto shrunk under their gaze. The red-haired boy walked up to Naruto. "Hello, my name is Gar," said the boy. "Hello," said Naruto timidly. "You want to come play with me?" asked Gar. Naruto looked at the red-haired boy, who was smiling. "Okay," said Naruto, followed Gar, and the other two children followed after them as well. The four children walked to a nearby park. Once there, Gar turned to Naruto. "So what do you want to play?" asked Gar. "I don't know any games," said Naruto. "Why not?" asked the girl, confused. "I've never played with any other kids," muttered Naruto. "Alright, how about hide and seek," said Gar. Naruto looked confused. Basically, one person counts to a number while the rest hide. Once the counter finishes counting, they look for the hiding people, said the girl. The last person hidden wins, and the first to get found then becomes the counter, said the boy. Okay, sounds good, said Naruto. Great, said Gar. Boundaries? Questioned the older boy. Stay inside the park, said Gar. How far are we counting? Asked the girl. How about 20, said Gar. The children nodded. I'll count, said Gar, turning around and shutting his eyes. 1, 2, 3, said Gar. The two of the kids were already running off to find a hiding spot. Naruto just hid behind a bush. The four children played several games for hours. Naruto found out the girl's name was Temari, and the boy's name was Kankuro, and those two along with Gar were siblings. It was now late, and Naruto along with the Sand siblings, as he called them, were walking back to the Kazukichi tower to see if the meeting was over. When they got there they found it wasn't. What are we going to do now? Asked Kankuro. Do you guys know any high places around here? Questioned Naruto. Well, the top of this tower is pretty high up, said Temari. Great, let's go, said Naruto, walking up the stairs followed by the other three. Once they got to the top of the tower they all looked out over the village. Wow, said Naruto. So why did we need to be someplace high, Naruto? Asked Temari. Naruto turned to her, then looked up. That's why, said Naruto, pointing up. Beautiful, said Temari. Flashback end. The stars are just as beautiful as back then, said Temari. Not as beautiful as you, Temari-chan, said Naruto. Naruto-kun? Questioned Temari, looking at the blonde blush coloring her cheeks. Yes, Temari-chan. Questioned Naruto, looking at the girl. He had a smile on his face which made Temari blush even more. She smiled and closed the distance between them, capturing his lips with her own. The kiss lasted little more than a second. As Temari pulled her lips away, Naruto pulled her back into another lip lock. Once the two parted, Temari shifted herself so she was sitting in Naruto's lap with her head on his shoulder. Naruto wrapped his arms around her. As the two just gazed at the stars, the two both slowly yielded to the calling for sleep, and fell asleep still in the same position under the tree. The next morning Naruto woke first. He made a shadow clone, and quickly substituted with it. Naruto then went for a little walk into the forest. As Naruto walked he saw a feminine-looking boy picking some herbs. Good morning there, said Naruto, walking up to the boy. Oh hello, said the boy, turning around to look at Naruto. Kid, you do know that's the hunter nin, right? Questioned Kaibi mentally. Yeah, I know, but if you were paying close attention you would feel what I do, replied Naruto. So what are you doing out here so early? Asked the boy. Well, all last night I was training, and must have fallen asleep, said Naruto. Oh, so you're a ninja then? Questioned the boy. Yeah, Jen and Naruto Uzumaki at your service, said Naruto. Well, it's nice meeting you, Naruto-san. My name is Haku, said the boy, now dubbed Haku. Would you like some help? Asked Naruto, pointing to the basket of herbs in Haku's hand. If you wouldn't mind, said Haku. Naruto nodded, and started helping Haku pick herbs. So Naruto-san, do you have someone precious to you? Asked Haku. Naruto thought about it for a moment. Yes, I have several, said Naruto with a smile. That's good, I believe when you're protecting someone precious that is when we become truly strong, said Haku. Is that why you're picking herbs, to help someone precious to you? Asked Naruto. Yes, he's a man I owe my life to. He saved me from a life on the streets. This is the least I can do to repay him, said Haku. He sounds like an honorable man, so why is he working for Geto? Asked Naruto. Beg your pardon, said Haku. Haku, don't play dumb, I know you're the hunter nin, and I have known since I found you. Just tell me, why is Abusa working for Geto? Questioned Naruto with a serious look on his face. He needs the money to fund his second attempt to topple the Yonde Mizukichi, said Haku. You girl of the bloody mist, muttered Naruto. Yes, said Haku. I need to speak to Zabuza, said Naruto. Not going to happen, said Haku, standing up and starting to walk away. Haku, said Naruto. Haku stopped and turned. If you won't let me speak to him in person, then would a letter be any better? Questioned Naruto. Alright, fine, said Haku. Thank you, said Naruto, as he pulled out a piece of paper and proceeded to write on it before handing it to Haku. Thank you, Haku, said Naruto, walking away. Farewell, Naruto-sen, said Haku. I hope we meet again, just not on the battlefield, Haku, said Naruto, walking away back towards Temari. Once Naruto got back he found Temari in a battle stance with her fan at the ready. In the blink of an eye she swung her fan in a massive arc. Wind style wind scythe jutsu, called Temari, as wind shot of her fan in a wave, slicing several trees in his path. Nicely done, said Naruto, clapping. Temari turned to him, then looked from Naruto to his clone, and back again. Am I missing something? Questioned Temari, looking at the clones. The second Naruto burst into a cloud of smoke. Oh right, shadow clones, my bad, said Temari, looking sheepish. Well, let's go, Yuga-sensei's probably getting worried now, said Naruto. Meanwhile, with Haku. Haku had just walked back into the base that he and Zabuza were using. Zabuza-sama, I'm back, said Haku. What the hell took you so long? Questioned an angry Zabuza. I came across one of the leaf ninjas, said Haku. Oh, which one? Asked Zabuza. The blonde one who worked out that I was the hunter nin, and asked me to give you this, said Haku, handing the piece of paper Naruto wrote on. What the hell could he want? Questioned Zabuza, as he started reading the letter. Interesting, muttered Zabuza. Did you read this? Asked Zabuza. Haku shook his head. Read it, said Zabuza, handing the note back to Haku, who then read it. Is he serious? Questioned Haku. You tell me, said Zabuza. Well, the hunter in after us have died down recently, said Haku. Read a bit further, said Zabuza. Haku nodded, and did, as instructed. How did he know that? Questioned Haku, looking very concerned. You didn't tell him, give him the slightest hint, nothing. Questioned Zabuza. No, I didn't tell him about that, said Haku. Things are getting interesting, muttered Zabuza. Naruto walked towards the bridge with all of the Leaf Nin, and Temari. He was keeping a close eye on Kakashi and his team. Naruto had left a couple of shadow clones back at Tazuna's house, in case Gato tried something. But look at the very inconspicuous mist that is covering the bridge, and just the bridge, yelled Naruto sarcastically, as the group drew near the bridge to see it covered in mist. Oh haha, you're so funny, said a sarcastic Zabuza from inside the mist. Temari, Sakura, and Sai stood back with Tazuna, as Kakashi, Sasuke, Yugao, and Naruto walked forwards. So did you think about my proposition? Questioned Naruto. The mist lit up a bit to reveal Zabuza in battle attire, and the same with Haku. I did, and I came to the conclusion that if you, and one of the other Leaf Nin can beat us, we'll accept, said Zabuza. Yugao-sensei care to help me? Questioned Naruto. Sure, said Yugao. You two are fighting Zabuza, and his apprentice Sasuke, and I are, said Kakashi, as he stepped forwards. To bad haddock, this is now my fight, so get lost or get cooked, said Naruto, as a second Naruto appeared beside Naruto facing Kakashi, and Sasuke, who both had their Sharingan revealed. The Naruto clone revealed his EMS. Come at me, I dare you, said the clone. Sasuke froze at the sight of Naruto's EMS. Kakashi backed up. Smart choice, said the real Naruto. Both Kakashi and Sasuke jumped back, as Naruto faced the ground with his eyes shut, cracking his neck. Well, Zabuza, Haku, said Naruto before his head snapped up to face the two of them. Let's dance, said Naruto, his eyes glowing with his EMS, as the gourd on his back shattered into sand. Zabuza grinned psychotically before launching off the bridge at Naruto, bringing his huge blade down on the blonde, only for his blade to be stopped, but not by Naruto, by Yugao. You've already had a crack at Naruto, I want to face a Mist Swordsman blade to blade, said Yugao. Besides, I wish to have a conversation with my kinsman, said Naruto, leaping at Haku, who pulled out several to block the incoming attack of Naruto. With Yugao and Zabuza. The two blades were locked, as Zabuza tried to overpower Yugao. Your fighting style reminds me of a woman I once had the pleasure of fighting, said Zabuza, as he leapt back from Yugao, who leapt back from him. Oh yeah, who would that be? Questioned Yugao, as she went for a lower to higher diagonal slice, only for Zabuza to block with his sword. Zabuza then went to punch Yugao in the face, only for the woman to jump to the side, and run at him again. The woman was Kushina Uzumaki. Do you know her? Questioned Zabuza. Dance of the Crescent Moon, called Yugao. In an instant, two shadow clones materialized beside her. One took off left, the other took off, and Yugao rushes forwards at high speeds, before jumping up, and bringing her sword down on Zabuza. And in the same instant the two shadow clones stabbed the man in the sides. Zabuza then fell to pieces after turning into water. Yes, I know Kushina, she was my sensei, she taught me all I know about swords, said Yugao, blocking the attack from Zabuza from behind her. Interesting, said Zabuza, who jumped back after his blade was blocked before vanishing into the mist. Your little mist trick won't work on me, said Yugao, spinning around, and, as she did, she pegged a kunai at a patch of mist. Fuck that hurt, growled Zabuza, as he came back into view with a cut on his shoulder. I hate Sensor Ninja, muttered Zabuza, going through some hand signs, as did Yugao. Water style water dragon jutsu, called Yugao, and Zabuza. Milliseconds apart, a pair of water dragons formed, and lunged at each other, cancelling each other out. Black Dance of the Full Moon, called Yugao, as four shadow clones appeared beside her. One took off, two behind Zabuza, two taking each side of him, and then one in front of him. Zabuza was confused slightly from the technique. The four Yugao clones started to run. They ran in a circle around Zabuza. They ran so fast that they became a blur, and a split second after that Zabuza was getting slashed at. The Yugao clones ran in circles, then darted into the center, cutting at Zabuza as they went. Zabuza used his blade to block, but was still getting cuts. Then it just stopped. He looked up, and saw all the clones gone. Zabuza's instincts told him to move. Damn good thing her followed his instincts, because just after he rolled to his left, Yugao's sword landed where his head was previously. That's it, lady, you pissed me off, said Zabuza. He did a couple of hand signs, and three water clones appeared beside him. Water style water needle jutsu, shouted at one of the clones after doing hand signs. Thousands of water needles shot towards Yugao. Water style water dragon jutsu, called another clone, launching a dragon at Yugao. Water style water shark bomb jutsu, called the third clone, a shark forming out of water, before flying at Yugao at high speeds. Yugao skillfully jumped over all the water needles, landed on the back of the dragon, and ran down it, then jumped onto the water shark, before stabbing it in the head with her sword, only to be bifurcated by Zabuza's massive blade. Zabuza smirked. But it dropped in less than a second when he saw a log that had been cut in two in place of Yugao. Damn it, muttered Zabuza, before swinging his massive blade around, and dispatching a clone of Yugao that tried to sneak up on him. Yugao then leapt from her hiding place, and ran at Zabuza. The two once again locked blades. You're the most skilled person that I have fought in a long time, said Yugao, as she jumped back. What about that blonde kid? He's good. Questioned Zabuza, blocking a sideways slash with his massive blade. Naruto doesn't count, he is my apprentice, and most times in straight-up kinjutsu battles I still beat him, said Yugao, flipping to the side. Right then, said Zabuza, jumping back a bit. The two once again lunged at each other, looking for an opportunity to gain the upper hand. Zabuza brought his sword down on Yugao, who spun to the side, and went to stab Zabuza, only to discover that the Zabuza in front of her was a clone. Yugao was split down the center by Zabuza, only to discover that she was merely a shadow clone. Water-style twin water dragon jutsu, called Yugao, as two water dragons formed out of the river going under the bridge that flew at Zabuza, who ran forwards, and slid under the two dragons, as they crashed on the bridge behind him. Zabuza then had to roll to the side to avoid another attack to his head. Zabuza jumped to his feet to avoid the barrage of shuriken that is where he had been laying Zabuza, then charged at Yugao, hacking and slashing at her. She blocked most of the attacks, but was still getting hit every once in a while, leaving her arms and legs with some shallow cuts on them. Nicely done, said Yugao, as she held her sword in a defensive stance. Zabuza smirked. I haven't had this much fun in years, said Zabuza, dashing forwards with his sword at his side, stopping just in front of Yugao, and attempting an upwards diagonal slash, only for Yugao to get a foot in the hole in Zabuza's sword, and knocking it out of his grip before she then grabbed his wrist, turned him around, and held a blade at his throat. Zabuza had been disarmed, and was now facing away from Yugao with one hand held by hers, and a sword at his throat. Do you yield? Questioned Yugao. Before Zabuza could answer, everyone heard clapping, and Haku with Naruto appeared beside the two jonin. With Naruto and Haku a few moments prior. Naruto ran at Haku, who had two out to defend himself with Naruto's sand, followed him closely. Naruto quickly drew Shadow Star, as he blocked several lobbed at him by Haku. Did Zabuza show you the letter? Questioned Naruto, as he sliced the senbon in two. Yes, were you telling the truth? Questioned Haku, as he jumped back from a downward slash from Naruto's katana. I know I have Yuki blood in my veins, said Naruto, neglecting to inform Haku of the fact that Kushina told him she was part Yuki, and therefore so was he. So I do still have some actual family in this world, muttered Haku, as he lobbied several at Naruto, only for the to be blocked by Naruto's sand. 1,000 flying water needles of death, called Haku, as 1,000 forms of water, and flew at Naruto. Naruto's sand formed a dome around him, and the sand turned slightly red. As the needles hit it, they turned into steam. What the? Questioned Haku, as he jumped back, as the sand returned to its brown color, then fell to the ground. Do you like it? Questioned Naruto, as he leapt forwards with his sword above his head. Ice dome, called Haku. After performing hand signs, a dome of ice formed, and protected Haku from Naruto's downward slash. Interesting, let's see how you handle this, said Naruto, sheathing his sword. Striking shadow snakes, called Naruto, as he pointed his left hand at Haku. About 5 snakes, then shot out of the boy's sleeve, and went towards Haku, who threw into the open mouths of the snakes, and rolled out of the way of the attack. Uzumaki art chain web, called Naruto, as chains shot out of his back, and turned into the ground, shooting out just in front of Haku, creating a web-like pattern around Haku. Haku made a hand sign, and what looked like a mirror of ice formed, and Haku leapt into it before he could be crushed by the chain web. Naruto ducked under the kick that came from Haku, who appeared out of another ice mirror behind Naruto. Naruto then launched a kick at Haku's gut, only for Haku to crack, and then shatter into ice. Ice clone, interesting, said Naruto, turning back to face the real Haku. Well, looks like I have one choice left, said Haku, as he went through hand signs. Demonic mirroring ice crystals, called Haku, as 21 ice mirrors formed around Naruto, 12 at ground level, 8 above that, and then 1 on top facing down. Haku then jumped into one of the mirrors. This looks interesting, said Naruto. In the blink of an eye, Haku launched out of a mirror, threw about 10 senbon at Naruto, and was back in another mirror. It was only then that Haku noticed snow in Naruto's skin. It's very hard to get past my sand. I won't say impossible, but I will say very hard, said Naruto from behind his sand wall. Haku growled. This had always been his ace in the hole. Well, it's ice, let's see how fire dose, muttered Naruto, going through hand signs. Fire-style fireball jutsu, called Naruto, as he breathed a reasonable size fireball out it, then flew towards Haku's mirrors where it exploded. Nice try, but this ice is almost impossible to melt, said Haku, taking slightly deeper breaths than normal. Chakra exhausting from the looks of it, thought Naruto. Fine, let's try a little bit hotter fire, said Naruto, creating a horse hand sign. Fire-style great fire annihilation, called Naruto, as he breathed out a continuous line of fire that was about 2 meters wide, that flew towards Haku's ice mirrors. Haku stopped his technique, and jumped away from the wall of fire. Naruto sighed. Then stopped his technique. He was hoping to test the ice mirror some more, but that would have to wait. Naruto waited for Haku to make the next move. He didn't have to wait long as 10 came flying at the mostly blonde boy. Naruto ducked under the projectiles. Ice-style ice dragon jutsu, called Naruto. After completing hand signs, a dragon of ice formed, and flew at Haku, who jumped back just as the dragon hit the bridge. You can use ice, almost screamed Haku. Ice-style frost breath, said Naruto, as he breathed out a cloud of sparkling something. Haku didn't know what it was, so he decided running from it was the best, and so he did. Haku leapt to the side, as Naruto's attack passed him. Before Naruto's knee hit him in the chest, Haku was sent back several meters from the force of the knee. Haku stood up shakily, and immediately coughed up some blood. Haku ducked under a punch, and went to grab Naruto's wrist, only for his hand to be stopped by Naruto's sand, which then wrapped around him. Haku jumped back, slicing at Naruto's sand with a kunai. The sand fell back to the ground before retreating to Naruto. Naruto then whirled the sand forwards, trying to catch Haku, who was too exhausted to dodge. Haku's leg was caught by the sand. Sand coffin, said Naruto, as his sand crawled up Haku's leg, and covered his entire being. Yield, Haku, or you will die, and I don't want the blood of my own kinsman on my hands. Naruto. Haku nodded, and Naruto's sand receded from Haku. The duo then heard clapping from the end of the bridge, and quickly jumped back to their senses. Once they landed, they saw Yugao holding one of Zabuza's hands out to the side, while holding her blade to his throat. Yes, yes, kill him, called a voice from the end of the bridge. Geto, growled Zabuza. Yugao lowered her blade from his throat. Naruto stomped on Zabuza's blade, flicking it up into his hands, before then lobbing it to Zabuza. Thanks, kid, said Zabuza. Naruto nodded. The mist cleared up to reveal several hundred bandits standing in front of him. Damn it, why are you killing each other, growled Geto. No matter, my friends here were all hired for the same price as you, Zabuza, and they'll have a lot more success than you have, said Geto, laughing a maniacal laugh. The four ninja on the bridge growled, but Naruto stepped forwards. Bandits are mine, you can have, Geto, said Naruto. Kill the men, bring me the woman, ordered Geto, grinning. The bandits stepped forwards with perverted smirks on their faces. Time to die, said one bandit. For you, growled Naruto in a demonic tone of voice, before creating a single hand sign. Fire style, great fire annihilation, roared Naruto, as flames spewed from the boy's mouth, shooting the bridge, and was as wide. The flames ate the bandits alive, incinerating them, burning the ashes to ashes in the blink of an eye. And in under a minute, the only one left standing was Geto. Naruto turned. All yours, Zabuza, said Naruto, walking away. Zabuza then lunged at the short, fat businessman. It was a fine sunny day in Fire Country, and 5 figures could be seen walking along the main road to Konoha. These 5 figures were Naruto, Zabuza, Haku, Temari, and Yugao. The 5 of them had left Wave Country the day after the battle on the bridge. Yugao felt, given that Zabuza had eliminated the main threat, they could leave Kakashi's team with the cleanup that, and the fact that Temari had needed to be at Konoha about a week prior. Naruto had already sent word to the Hokage for his plans with Zabuza and Haku, actually having a summons ask after he gave Haku the letter. So now the 5 were headed to Konoha. The group walked at a leisurely pace for ninja, full sprint for civilians. Towards Konoha they dabbled in light conversation, but nothing lasted, so they all settled for listening to the sounds of nature. So Naruto, what's Konoha like? Questioned Haku, breaking the hour of silence. I'm not sure I'm the best person to ask about that, Haku, said Naruto. Why? Asked Haku. I've only seen the darker side of Konoha, the dark underbelly of the sunny village that everyone thinks Konoha is, said Naruto, sadly looking off into the distance. It was now that Zabuza decided to ask something. So is the whispered Zabuza to Yugao. Yes, said Naruto, confusing Haku and Temari. Zabuza, you would have to be a lot further away from me not to hear you whispering, said Naruto, not even turning to face the man. Do you mind if I ask you which one? Questioned Zabuza. Said Naruto. Beg pardon? Questioned Zabuza. Not one, said Naruto. Zabuza blinked. You mean you contain more than one? Questioned Zabuza. 3 to be precise, said Naruto, as the gates of Konoha came into view. Once the gates came into clear view, they could see that the Hokage was there with several Anbu agents. I have already informed the Hokage about you two. The Anbu are here to take you to interrogation, Zabuza, said Naruto. Zabuza nodded, handing his sword to Naruto. You taking care of my sword till I'm out, Gaki, said Zabuza. Naruto nodded, and sealed the sword away. Hello, Zabuza-san, welcome to the Leaf Village. Now will you please go with the Anbu to interrogation and your apprentice to said Hiruzen, as the group of 5 walked up to the gates. Yes, Hokage-sama, said Zabuza, bowing to the man. Then he and Haku followed the Anbu away. Only Naruto could change the heart of an enemy in their territory, said Hiruzen. What can I say? Questioned Naruto, shrugging. Well, I'll expect a report from you at some stage, but for now I believe you have some people wanting to see you, said Hiruzen with a smile, as he spotted Temari with the Leaf Duo. And it looks like the missing one had found you while out on your mission, said Hiruzen, smiling down at the blonde girl. Any idea where I might find my friends? Asked Naruto. Try Training Ground 27, I gave them exclusive rights to use it while in the village, said Hiruzen. Naruto nodded. Come on, Temari-chan, said Naruto, grabbing Temari's hand before the duo leapt away. So anything interesting happens on your mission, Yugao? Questioned Hiruzen. I would prefer to talk in your office, Hokage-sama, said Yugao. Of course, said Hiruzen, leading her away. With Naruto and Temari. The duo were running along the rooftops headed towards Training Ground 27. Naruto called a voice from the duo's left. Naruto turned to face the voice. Ten-chan called Naruto. As Tenten came flying at him, he caught her in a hug, and spun around to both of them laughing. Temari had a well-hidden, but still visible look of annoyance. "You back," said Tenten. "Yeah, I just got back," said Naruto, letting go of Tenten before standing next to her. "Ten-chan, this is my friend Temari-chan. Temari-chan, this is my girlfriend, Tenten-chan," said Naruto. "Nice to meet you, Temari," said Tenten, holding out her hand. "Same to you, Tenten," said Temari, both smiling at one another as they shook hands. "So what are you doing, Naruto-kun?" questioned Tenten. "I'm taking Temari to training ground 27 and looking for her two brothers," said Naruto. "Oh, okay, do either of you mind if I tag along? I have nothing to do now," said Tenten. Naruto looked at Temari, who shrugged. "Let's go," said Naruto, leaping off towards the training grounds. Within a few moments the trio reached the training grounds. "Oh wait, the Hokage gave us exclusive rights to use this training ground," spoke a voice of a boy who was facing away while controlling a puppet. "What, not even a hello first, Kankuro, just a fuck off, gee, and here I thought we were friends," said Naruto in a jesting tone. "Naruto?" questioned the boy, turning to look at him. "What, you forgot what I look like? Geez, you're hopeless," muttered Naruto. "It's been a while, Naruto," said another voice from off to the side. "Indeed it is, Gar," said Naruto, turning to face the red-haired boy who was smiling at him. "Geez, Naruto, it is you. How's things?" questioned Kankuro. "Yeah, not too bad, you?" questioned Naruto, as the trio of boys walked away, leaving Tenten and Temari alone. "So Tenten," started Temari. "Yeah?" questioned Tenten, looking at Temari, already guessing what she was going to ask. "How long have you and Naruto been dating?" questioned Temari. "The day before he left for the mission to the wave," said Tenten, smiling, as she thought back to the day. "And how long did you know him before that?" asked Temari. "Well, I knew him since he was born basically, as we were in the same orphanage, but then he got kicked out at the age of 4, and I didn't see him again till he entered the academy, as Sasuke Chi had tried to fight Naruto, only to have his ass handed to him on a silver platter," said Tenten. "So that's why Mr. Short, Dark, and Breeding was glaring at Naruto," muttered Temari. "Did Naruto-kun tell you that name, or did you think it after you met him?" giggled Tenten. "Naruto-kun told me, but it just fits so perfectly," said Temari, giggling. They both shared a laugh at the emo avenger of the Uchiha clan. "So how did you meet Naruto-kun?" questioned Tenten. "Well, when he was 5 he came with the Hokage on a diplomatic mission to Suna, and he played with me, and my brothers, well the Hokage, and my father the Kazekage were in boring meetings," said Temari. The two stood in silence for a moment. Tenten was the one to break it. "You love Naruto, don't you?" questioned Tenten. "Yes I do," said Temari. "Tell him," said Tenten, looking at the older blonde girl. "But what about you and him?" questioned Temari. "3 letters CRA," said Tenten. "Really, Naruto-kun's on the CRA?" questioned Temari. "Yeah, he is. Before you ask, he has to take at least 6 wives," said Tenten. The two continued to talk for a while, that is until Yugao appeared in the training grounds in a swirl of leaves. "Yugao, what is it?" questioned Temari. "Have you seen Naruto? He's needed in the Hokage's office," said Yugao. "Last we saw he was," said Temari, interrupted when Naruto stood in front of him. "I'm here, Yugao-sensei," said Naruto. "Hokage's office now," said Yugao, disappeared in a swirl of leaves. Naruto then hugged Temari, then walked over to Tenten and kissed her cheek. "See you 2 later," said Naruto, vanishing in a swirl of sand. The teacher-student duo appeared in the Hokage's office to see Haku and Zabuza there. "Naruto, there you are," said Hiruzen, smiling at him. "Sup," said Naruto, waving his hand. "Now Zabuza and Haku have been cleared," said Hiruzen. Naruto nodded and smiled. "Congrats, you two," said Naruto, smiling at the 2 former Miss Now Leaf Shinobi. Both were smiling, grinning at the boy. "Now the next thing is that Haku has expressed an interest in joining you under Yugao, thereby forming Team 11. Yugao has already given her nod for the idea. We just need your input," said Hiruzen. Naruto thought about it. "Yeah, I would like having Haku on a team with me," said Naruto, nodding, swinging an arm over Haku's shoulder. Hiruzen nodded. "Alright then, as of today Team 11 is now formed, Yugao being sensei teaching Jen and Naruto Uzumaki, and Jen and Haku Mamachi," said Hiruzen. Naruto smiled, looking at Haku, then to Zabuza, who was looking away. "And Jen Zabuza Mamachi, you are now the latest member of the torture and interrogation team," said Hiruzen with a smile. Zabuza's face changed to a sadistic one. "Kami saved the poor soul to get stuck with Zabuza, Anko, and Ibiki," said Naruto. Hiruzen, Yugao, and the hidden Anbu all paled at that. "Changing subjects, Hokage-sama, I would like to nominate Team 11 for the exams," said Yugao. Hiruzen nodded and handed the duo some forms. "Take those to room 301 next Monday," said Hiruzen. Both Haku and Naruto nodded. "Is that all?" asked Naruto. Hiruzen nodded. Naruto walked out of the room. "Haku, Zabuza came with me and told Naruto as he went." Both ninjas looked at Hiruzen, who nodded. So Zabuza and Haku followed Naruto. "You two can stay in my clan's compound," said Naruto, walking towards the clan districts of Konoha. "Thanks, kid, very generous of you," said Zabuza. "Well, you guys are family, so why not?" said Naruto. Both nodded as the trio kept walking. Once they got to the compound, Naruto stopped the two. Alright, you two have to wait here for a moment. There's a set of seals that stop people breaking into the compound. So basically only those with Uzumaki DNA can enter while the seals are up. But if I let you two and then put the seals up, you're placed on a list of accepted people, said Naruto, getting a nod from both Zabuza and Haku. Naruto then walked into the compound and out of the duo's sight. Then what looked like a barrier dissolved in front of the two. So the two walked inside and the barrier returned. Alright, good to go, you two just test to make sure it worked, so you don't get caught out late at night, said Naruto. Both Haku and Zabuza walked out of the compound gates, then back in. Okay, problem solved, said Naruto. Oh, and if you guys are planning to bring a hot date home, you have to tell me so I can make a temporary override seal, said Naruto. Both nodded, Haku slightly blushing at the thought. The next day, Naruto was walking down the road looking for something to do, as he had been given the week off to rest before the exams. There was only one problem. Naruto was bored as hell. Haku would even settle for catching the supposed demon cat, as Tenten called it. Naruto rounded a corner and came upon a curious sight. 3 Iwa ninja. Naruto blinked once, twice, thrice. No, they were there. Those 3 are really there, aren't they? Questioned Naruto internally. Yes, and that one in the armor and the hat has one of us in him, said Kurama. Really, which one? Asked Naruto. I think it's Gobi Kakyo, said Kurama. Are you there, said one of the Iwa ninja. He was a man. He was covered head to toe in red-colored armor. He had orange eyes and was quite tall. He looked a little old to be a genin, but if he was like Naruto, he wouldn't put it past a village to keep him so unskilled that he was still a genin. Yes? Questioned Naruto. Never mind, said the man, narrowing his eyes at Naruto. The only girl of the group walked forwards with a studying gaze on her face, as she looked at Naruto curiously. Something you wish to know? Asked Naruto. Your name? Questioned the girl. You know it's polite to give your own name prior to asking for another's, said Naruto. Kurotsuchi, said the girl, had pink pupil-less black hair, and wore a red uniform with the right sleeve missing, and a lapel over her right leg, with a brown jacket over the top, fishnet tights, and a skirt over them. She also wears regular shinobi sandals, and a pair of gloves. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, said Naruto. Naruto and Haku walked side by side into the academy. Today was the day of the exams. Haku had his haircut now being relatively short, coming down to just over his eyes. He now wore a long-sleeved light blue shirt with a white snowflake on the back, and an icy blue dragon on the front. Haku also now wore a pair of long black pants, a pair of black gloves, and black ninja sandals. Haku had a pair of tanto strapped to his sides, and wore his leaf headband around his left shoulder. Naruto's right upper arm was now covered in tattoos of snakes, falcons, jaguars, and wolves. Everyone who Haku and Naruto walked past would swear when they walked past the temperature dropped about 10 degrees. Naruto had his EMS active, as well as 2 sides attached to his back crossed under his gourd, and the duo was also leaking some kai. As they walked past, all in all the two looked very intimidating. As the duo walked up the stairs, they came to a door with a crowd around it. The sign above the door said 301. Both Haku and Naruto sided on the sign and walked past and up to the next level. They walked down the hall and found the real room 301. Once they walked in, they were bombarded with kai. Both stood there with a bored look on their faces. Really, is this all a room full of genin can manage? Questioned Haku. Naruto moved his head so his eyes were shadowed by his hair. He stood there with his eyes closed for a second, as if contemplating something. The room slowly got colder and colder until people could actually see their breath, as Naruto and Haku still stood in the doorway. Naruto's head snapped up, his eyes shot open, and on his face was plastered the most sadistic, scary, and downright intimidating grin. Naruto's eyes had a very eerie blood red glow to them, and Naruto released some of his kai. The effect was instantaneous. Several genin lost consciousness, a few pissed themselves, some almost crapped themselves, and even 2 full teams got up and ran out of the door the second Naruto and Haku moved over to the corner. Naruto leaned on the corner wall, and Haku sat on a desk right next to the wall. The wall where Naruto was leaning on, and the desk where Haku sat froze. A few moments after Naruto and Haku walked into the room, Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru entered. All 3 looked a little intimidated by the kai. The 3 of them walked off and found a table to sit at. Moments later, Kiba, flanked by Hinata and Shino, walked in. Kiba was laughing like an idiot. Hinata was more scared than normal, and Shino was, the second trio of Leaf Shinobi, gave a quick nod to Team 10 before walking to another table to sit at. Several minutes later in walked Team 9. Tenten spied Naruto, but decided to leave him be with his intimidation, so went and sat with her team. A couple of moments later the door opened again. Sasuke-kun, yelled Ino, as she tackled the Uchiha. Did you miss me? Questioned Ino. Get off him, Ino, pig, yelled Sakura, grabbing Sasuke's arm. You get off him, forehead, yelled Ino. Damn, Ino, do you have to be so troublesome? Questioned Shikamaru, as he and Choji walked over to Sasuke's team. Yahoo, looks like we all made it, yelled Kiba, walking back over to the door with his team. Hey, you guys should be quieter, said a white-haired ninja with a leaf headband and glasses approaching the group. You guys are rookies just out of the academy, right? Screaming like schoolgirls, geez, said the nin. This isn't a picnic, continued the nin. Who do you think you are? Questioned Kiba. I'm Kabuto. But instead of me look behind you, said Kabuto. The 9 rookie leaf nin turned their heads, and saw a team of 3 ninja with aim headbands glaring at them. Those guys behind you are from the Hidden Rain village, and they have short tempers. Everyone is nervous about the exam, so quiet down before you cause a scene, said Kabuto. Well, I suppose I can't blame you. After all, you are just rookies fresh out of the academy. Funny you kinda remind me of how I used to be, said Kabuto, adjusting his glasses. So Kabuto-san, right? Questioned Sakura. Yeah, said Kabuto. Is this your second time taking the exams then? Asked Sakura. Nope, try 7th time with the exams being held twice a year. That makes this my 4th year, said Kabuto. Really? Wow, so you must know a lot about the exams, said Ino. Yeah, and you cute little rookies have caught me in a good mood, so I'll help you out with my nin info cards, said Kabuto, pulling a deck of cards out of his pocket. Nin info cards? Questioned Kiba. They're basically cards with info burned into them with my chakra. I have 4 years' worth of cards here, over 200 of them, said Kabuto. They may look blank, but if I push my chakra into them, said Kabuto, pulling the top one off, and placed his pointer finger at it. Then it went from blank to a map of the elemental nations. Perhaps what kind of info is this? Asked Kiba. This is the number of those taking the exam, as well as a breakdown of what country they're from, said Kabuto. Do you have cards with info on individuals? Questioned Sasuke. Are there some guys here you're worried about? Of course the info on this exam's participants isn't perfect, but I do have it. I even have info on you guys. Say something about these guys, and I'll take a look, said Kabuto. Rock Lee of Konoha, Gaara of Suna, and Naruto Uzumaki of Konoha, said Sasuke. You have names, you're no fun, said Kabuto before pulling 3 cards out. Show me, said Sasuke. First up we have Rock Lee of Konoha. He had completed over 50 D rank missions, and 10 C ranks. His Taijutsu is his best skill, the rest barely registering. His teammates are Niji Haika and Tenten Higurashi under the tutelage of Might Guy, said Kabuto, giving the Genin a minute to process the information before moving on. Next we have Gaara of Suna. He has completed 30 C ranks, 2 B ranks, and even an A rank mission. His skills are unknown. His teammates are his sister Temari and brother Kankuro, but most surprisingly, he has never returned from a mission with so much. As a scratch, said Kabuto, drawing a gasp from the Genin in front of him. Finally we have Naruto Uzumaki Konoha's Frozen Tri-Blade. In the bingo books, as a B-rank nin with an approach with caution warning, he's completed 37 C-rank missions, 3 B ranks, and an A rank, specializes in ninjutsu, kinjutsu, and fuinjutsu. Uses 3 swords for his kinjutsu. Ninjutsu he has been seen using several advanced natures, them being lava and ice, as a summoning contract with the snakes and falcons, carries a gourd full of sand for the use of sand-based ninjutsu. And his fuinjutsu skills rival that of the Yondaime Hokage, since the age of 5 hasn't received so much as a scratch from anyone, has been taught by Konoha's snake mistress Anko Mitarashi, and the lunar shadow Yuga Yuzuki. And his teammate is Hakumamachi, said Kabuto. Naruto in the corner smirked when he heard the information, surprised he was in the bingo book. There's no way that's true, shouted Sakura. Believe what you want, but that's what I have gathered on him, but most of that's straight from the bingo book, said Kabuto. Anyway, the leaf, sand, stone, grass, waterfall, rain, and sound, many outstanding genin from a variety of villages, are here to take the exam. The Hidden Sound village is small, just created last year, so there isn't much info, but the rest of the villages are filled with talented youngsters, said Kabuto. At that moment a ninja jumped into the air, before throwing 2 kunai at Kabuto, who jumped back a bit before another ninja appeared behind. Kabuto punching at his head, missing. As Kabuto jumped back again, after a few seconds Kabuto's glasses cracked. Interesting, he missed, but Kabuto's glasses still cracked, and Kabuto saw it coming too. He thinks we're all dumb, as dog shit, and he smells like snakes, and not like Anko-sensei. But different snakes, Naruto thought to himself before anything else could be done. A giant sword came flying out of the air, embedding itself in the wall behind Kabuto. No fighting without permission. If you are caught fighting without permission you will be failed, said a man appearing on the hilt of the giant blade. Nice to see you again, Zabuza, said Naruto with a smirk. Baki, said Zabuza, looking at Naruto. At that moment a large puff of smoke formed at the front of the room. Shut up, you worthless shitheads, yelled a man appearing at the front of the room with about 20 others next to him. And I thank you all for waiting. I am Ibiki Moreno, the proctor for the first stage of the Chunin exams, and what my associate at the back says is true. You are not allowed to fight unless you have permission from the proctors of the exam. And even if you do, you are not allowed to use lethal force, said Ibiki. Now each of you will be given one of these tabs, and sit at the seat assigned to you, and after everyone is seated we'll hand out the tests, said Ibiki. A few moments later everyone was seated. Naruto ended up sitting between Temari and Kurasuchi. Now before we hand out the tests I will explain the rules, and you are to ask no questions. Firstly, you all start off with 10 points, and the test works on a subtraction system. You get 3 wrong, and you still have 7 points. Secondly, this is a team test. Whether you pass or fail will be determined by your overall team score. Thirdly, anyone caught cheating will have 2 points subtracted from their score. And lastly, those who lose all their points during the test will be failed along with their 2 teammates, said Ibiki with a smirk, as his assistants handed out the tests. There will be a total of 10 questions. The 10th question will not be given until 5 minutes before the test is over, said Ibiki. Now the test will last an hour, and you may begin, said Ibiki. Everyone flipped over their test, and the room was filled with the sound of pencils scribbling on paper. Did they really expect Genin to be able to answer this stuff? Thought Naruto. Looking at the difficult questions, he would admit he wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, but he was far from stupid. Naruto thought for a moment, thinking about the rules, the whole setup of the test. They're trying to make us cheat to test our information gathering skills, thought Naruto. He quickly scanned the room, and found Haku, but more interestingly found 2 people that didn't look like Genin. Quickly, Naruto made a hand sign hidden under his desk. A mirror formed one of the 2 people who didn't look like a Genin. Ibiki stood at the front with Zabuza standing beside him, watching over the whole group. Both noticed the eye smear, and smirked. And the real test begins, thought Zabuza and Ibiki in unison. Thanks for watching my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.